Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome once again to the ever popular Inspirations for Your Life show. It is so great to be with you. If this is your very first time joining me, I want to take the opportunity to say thank you. And I want to say the words welcome. You are very welcome here. If you've been here one time, 5 times, 10, 100, or maybe even more, or lost track of the count, I like to say thank you and welcome. But I also like to say these very important words welcome back. Yes, welcome back. Thank you so much for choosing to be here and enjoy this great quality and content that I produce on the show and so many others. So you guys know we start our master topic off on Saturday and we roll through the week and we finish up on a Friday. That's how we work. And yes, we have all kinds of great content for you to improve the quality of your life. I have a nice decaf hot tea here. Really good to have. Feel free to get yourself one, or maybe a juice or water or something else, or another snack, healthy or not. That's up to you. And yeah, it's great to be with you. Don't forget to check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, of course, inspiring creations, which you can do after the show is over. All right, guys. So let's get ready to the show, shall we? So this is about building a life you don't need to escape from Series 5, Show 34. That is what the master topic is for this entire week. Yes. So the granular topic for today, Thursday, August 20th, 2026, your old life doesn't fit you anymore. Series 5, Show 34, Episode 6, and it's Thursday. Before we get into our show, I want to give a shout out because, on Sundays and Thursdays, we give a shout out to local businesses like coffee shops, restaurants, etc. Today's shout out is going out to the team actually at a Little Honey Coffee Shop. They're located, guys, in, I believe it's in Ridgewood, New Jersey, right on 35 Godwin Avenue. Yes, it's great to shout out to them. And so why am I doing this? Well, I'm reaching out to them and many others to ask them to visit chasecmacademy.com and click on the Contact Us button and let us know that you'd like to host us. It's completely free. We do a live show at your facility, and then we will do a author talk, Q&A, and signing. So you definitely would like to check that out. Go to jcmacademy.com, and let's help build community together. So a little bit about this little special place. So they've got some interesting little drinks and beverages, and so yeah, just taking a look at their restaurant, their website, I should say. They have lots of different things. As I'm looking here through the menu, they have the daily rituals, things like espresso starting at $4. And they have things like Americanas, and they have smoothies starting at $8, like a Ruby Glow, an Indigo Glow, a Golden Glow, specialty teas and coolers for basically just starting at $5 and up. Craft Shake and Espresso starting at $6 and up. Artisanal cold foam. They've got basically you can choose the drink base. So this is what they've got here on this menu, and it looks like mostly they're sharing their drinks. I didn't see that they have any snacks or anything or any beverage. Let me see here. It looks like it doesn't. I don't think they have any actual. They don't have it listed on their website. I mean, they may actually. I see some pictures for different things that they have, like different kinds of breakfast items, like muffins and things like that. But what I don't see is I don't see them on the menu. So that might just be something special that they do. So definitely check that out. Let them know that you heard about their place on the Inspirations of Your Life show. Yes, so grateful to be with everyone here tonight. So welcome everyone to the ever popular Inspirations for Your Life show. I am, in case you guys did not know, John C. Morley. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm an engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, a graduate student at Montclair State University, a passionate lifelong learner, and so grateful now to be a published author. Yes, so grateful for all of that, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for the love. Have you ever looked at your life and realized that, hey, something that once fit perfectly doesn't fit anymore? Maybe like the thing you took out of the box. You're like, I can't get it back in the box that way. It's impossible. Like once you take it out, like it's just not meant to go back in. Those times, right? Maybe it's a goal. It's a routine. It's a role. It's an environment. relationship, or even your definition of what we call success. That doesn't automatically mean you made a mistake, guys. It might mean you've grown. Yeah. Today, I'm exploring 30 ways to recognize when your old life no longer fits and how to start building around the person you're becoming. Number one, your old life doesn't have to fit forever. Nope. Something can have been right for you once without being right forever. Growth sometimes means acknowledging that what worked in one chapter doesn't belong in the next. And that's hard for a lot of people to fathom or to swallow that pill, right? Because it changes who they are. Number two, notice how you've changed. Think about who you were several years ago. Your experiences have probably changed your priorities, abilities, expectations, and perspective. Give yourself credit for that evolution. Number three, let your priorities evolve. Priorities aren't permanent, guys. No, they're not permanent contracts. What mattered enormously at one stage of your life may naturally become less important as something else begins to matter more. So, what does that mean? Well, our life changes, our life morphs, and we discover things about ourselves and others that we didn't know before. Number four, stop forcing yourself into outdated roles. Sometimes we continue playing a role because other people expect it from us. Ask whether that role still represents who you actually are. Number five, build around who you are now. Don't design today's life around yesterday's identity. Look honestly at your current strengths, interests, responsibilities, and ambitions. Then build from there. Number six, release the goals you no longer want. A goal doesn't deserve permanent loyalty simply because you once wrote it down. If you genuinely no longer want the destination, reconsider why you're still traveling toward it. Number seven, make room for new interests. Growth can introduce interests you never expected. Give yourself permission to explore them without needing to justify why they're different from what interested you before. I think that's a key. Number eight, update your definition of success often. Success at one stage might mean achievement, recognition, or growth. Later, it might include freedom, impact, relationships, creativity, or time. Define success for who you are today, not who you were. Number nine, stop living by an old version of yourself. Don't keep making decisions based on what the old you would have chosen. The person making today's decision has more experience and information. That's important to acknowledge and respect. Number 10, allow your ambitions to mature. Changing an ambition doesn't necessarily mean reducing it. Sometimes ambition becomes more focused, meaningful, and aligned with what you know and now value. Number 11, guys, choose relationships that support growth. Strong relationships shouldn't require you to remain exactly who you are, who you were. When they began, things can change. Surround yourself with people who can respect your evolution. Number 12, build routines for your current reality. A routine that worked years ago may not work today. Your responsibilities and goals change, so allow your routines to change with them. That's key, guys. Number 13, stop defending choices you've outgrown. There's no need to do that anymore. I mean, you're not trying to impress anybody. You don't need to keep defending a decision simply because you once believed strongly in it. New information can justify a different choice. Number 14, give yourself permission to change direction. Changing direction isn't automatically quitting. Sometimes it's the intelligent response to discovering that another direction fits you better. Number 15, let new strengths reshape your future. You may have developed abilities you didn't possess when you created your original plans. Let those strengths open possibilities you couldn't previously see before. Number 16, build around what you've learned. Experience should change something. Take lessons from successes, disappointments, mistakes, relationships, and challenges, and use them to design what comes next. Number 17, stop maintaining appearances that no longer fit. Don't maintain an image simply because people are accustomed to seeing you that way. Your life should be built around authenticity, not appearances, guys. Too many people get this wrong, and I think it's because they're trying to impress other people. Okay? Trying to impress other people. And that impress doesn't really do much for a lot of people. It just says, hey, this is who I'm trying to be. Number 18, let your actions actually speak the way you want them to. So choose environments where you can expand at your own pace and comfort level. Some environments encourage curiosity and growth. Others continually push you back toward an older version of yourself. Notice where you have room to expand. Number 19, let experience change your thinking. You aren't required to hold every opinion forever. Experience can reveal information you couldn't have understood before. Allow yourself to reconsider that. Number 20, redesign what isn't working anymore. When something repeatedly doesn't work, don't automatically try harder using the same structure. That's insanity, right? Einstein said it. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the results, that is insanity. Yes, sometimes the structure itself needs redesigning. Number 21, stop being loyal to an outdated plan. Plans are tools, not masters. If circumstances, knowledge, or priorities have changed, update the plan instead of sacrificing yourself to it. I think that's another one that we've got to be aware of, like a caveat, right? Something I think that can give us a lot of strength. And guys, it can give us a lot of wisdom, wisdom that maybe we never knew existed. All right. Number 22, build for the person you're becoming. That sounds complicated, but really, guys, it's not. So think for just a moment. Can you do that? Great. Think beyond who you are today. What skills, habits, relationships, and environments would support the person you want to become? Next, number 23, allow your identity to expand. You don't have to fit inside one label. You can develop new abilities, interests, responsibilities, and ambitions without abandoning everything you've been before. Number 24, choose goals that still excite you. Look at your current goals and ask whether they still create genuine energy. A meaningful goal should pull something out of you beyond the obligation. It's got to be about a passion. Number 25, let growth change your destination. Sometimes growth doesn't merely change how you reach a destination. It reveals that you want a completely different destination. And that's worth recognizing. It happens, guys, you know how? It happens because of our character. The thing we do and no one's watching actually filters down to what people are watching. I think that's an important thing to us to be aware of. Number 26, make your life reflect your evolution. How do you do that, John? It's not hard. If you've changed internally, okay, but everything around you remains designed for who you used to be, eventually you'll feel the conflict. Let your external choices reflect your growth. Number 27, stop apologizing for becoming different. You don't need to apologize because your priorities matured, your interests changed, or your standards evolved. Growth naturally creates differences. And I think that's something that a lot of people, I don't want to say they miss it intentionally, but they miss it. They overshoot it because they're too busy trying to prove who they are and not who they actually want to be. And they don't get grounded in what they're actually doing now. So I think those are very important things that we all should think about. Number 28, please build forward instead of backward. How do you build backwards? Well, how do I say this? You build backwards by adopting the things that were in the past, trying to accommodate those things and not working on the new stuff, right? So don't spend all of your energy trying to recreate an earlier chapter because it feels familiar, it feels warm, it feels good. I've said to you guys time and time again, success happens where you start to get uncomfortable. Now, a lot of you are saying, John, I don't want to feel uncomfortable. Well, then you don't want success. See, we have to do something new before we can grow. We have to. If we don't do that, then how do we become better with ourselves? How do we become better? How do we become better? That's a true thing that I think a lot of us don't realize. Don't realize like how that works or how that connects to us. Right? Just because it feels familiar doesn't mean that that's the path we should take. Take what was valuable from the past and use it to build forward. Forward sometimes gets confusing because we don't always know how to go forward. We may know we don't want to go backward, but yet we don't always know how to go forward. I think that can be a real challenge for people. How do we prevent ourselves from going backward? It's really simple. We look at where we are today. We look at how we're growing. That's the key, guys. That is absolutely the key. All right. That's an important key that lots of people do not understand. Number 29, your life should grow as you grow. As your knowledge, abilities, perspective, and priorities expand, your life should have enough flexibility to expand with them, not against them. I think sometimes we're so busy trying to prove things to ourselves and to others that we completely miss the boat. We miss our plane. We miss the agenda. We miss our core purpose. So when we miss our core purpose, can we get it back? Absolutely, we can get it back. But it may not come back instantaneously. We might have to do some work, right? Success lies where we get uncomfortable. Success lies where we become uncomfortable. I didn't say painful, I said uncomfortable. Okay? I think that's an important piece that many people kind of miss. Does that make sense, guys? I think that's an important piece to understand. Knowing where we were, knowing where we are now, and knowing where we want to be. We don't have to have all of the answers to be on a path of success. We have to acknowledge where we want to go. And we need to be alert to things in our environment that could affect our direction. Yeah, our direction. What does that mean? It means that we can easily be taken off our direction by what people say, think, and share with us. Number 30, guys, build a life that fits who you're becoming. You aren't building only for today's version of yourself. I hope not. Create enough room for continue learning, new opportunities, changing ambitions, and the person you're still becoming. Because even though you're not where you want to be yet, enjoy the journey. The journey is so amazing. And when we're grateful for the journey, we learn along the way. As I get ready to wrap up the show today, one of the hardest things about growth is realizing that something doesn't have to be bad for you to outgrow it, right? This could be relationships, it could be tasks you do, it could be a business, it could be your hobbies, it could be your passions. A goal can once have been meaningful to you for many years. A routine can once have worked for you for a long time. A role can once have represented you in your whole life. Okay? A plan can once have made perfect sense to you. And you can still reach a point where none of them fit anymore. That doesn't necessarily mean failure. Sometimes that evidence points to the fact that the person who created the original plan has learned something and he or she is changing the map. So look at your life and ask yourself this question. What am I maintaining simply because it belonged to an earlier version of me? Maybe there's a goal you're pursuing out of a habit. Maybe there's a routine you've never reconsidered, right? Just maybe. Just be open to this, okay? Maybe you're protecting an image that doesn't represent you anymore. Maybe you're staying loyal to a plan even though your experience has shown you a better direction. Growth should be allowed to change your answers. Take what you've learned with you. Keep the relationships, experiences, values, and lessons that still matter. But don't you dare force yourself backward just because the old version feels familiar, comfortable, warm. You're never going to grow. Never going to grow, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I am, in case you did not know, John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me for another amazing episode of the ever popular Inspirations for Your Life show. Ladies and gentlemen, please, 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 please notice how you've changed. I know you probably say you haven't changed, but you have changed, guys. You have changed. Start to let your priorities evolve. Update your definition of success. Choose goals that still excite you. Give yourself permission to change direction. More than once if you want, as long as they align with your new core values. You don't have to become the person you once expected yourself to be. No reason for that. You get to keep learning, guys, your entire life. You get to keep learning your entire life. That's priceless. You get to keep evolving. You get to keep evolving. You get to keep learning. You get to keep sharing. That's powerful. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, you get to keep building. Our whole life is building. Maybe we're not where we want to be yet, but we need to enjoy the journey that we're on as we're getting to our destination. Because getting to our destination is just part of the fun. To learn and traverse along our pathway. You know, ladies and gentlemen, your old life doesn't have to fit forever. I know people around say, well, you know, it's got to fit. You know, you're this and you're that, and you have to do it this way. Says who? Well, says my mom, says my father, says my brother, says my cousin, says my sister, maybe says my boyfriend, says my girlfriend. Okay? That's important, guys. Very important to acknowledge that whole concept. Acknowledge it. Don't try to change it right away. Just acknowledge it. As I said, your old life doesn't have to fit forever anymore. Your life should grow as you grow. So build a life that fits who you're becoming. One of the most devastating things you can do is prevent yourself from moving forward because you're scared, because you're uncomfortable, because you're worried about what people will say, because you don't think you're good enough, or because you don't think you're enough, because you haven't developed the confidence yet to believe that you are so powerful. And there's so much you can do, guys. Everything starts with a thought. Everything. My computer, my keyboard, my phone, everything started with a thought. And then move from there. And then inspired thoughts caused an action to happen. And that action created a reality, a tangible product or a tangible service. So I think those are very important things for us to recognize. Do you think about these things, or do you just kind of go day by day? So again, your old life doesn't have to fit forever. That's been a misnomer that we've been taught for years and centuries. Your life should grow as you grow. So build a life that fits who you're becoming. Not saying that every step of the way is going to be peaches and cream, because it's not. But it will teach you things that you never would have learned. You'll become a better person. And you'll have new insights. Ones that would never have reached you before, because now your mind has changed. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to stop by basically this little place here called the Little Honey Coffee Shop. As I said there, I think you definitely will enjoy it. They are located at 35 Godwin Avenue in Ridgewood, New Jersey. And if you're watching tonight, I hope you will definitely invite us to be a guest at your facility to host the Inspirations of Your Life show. Have a great one, everyone, and be well.